right, guys. Welcome back to the Vault. You know me, I'm Schaunn-Anthony Thomas. Here we have Nicholas Dundas. Today we have two guests with us. Both of them co-founders of EzeePayments. We have with us Narda Ventura and Kyle Lewis, is it?
That's correct.
All right. So before we get into the story of EzeePayments, which is a payment platform, helps people to facilitate payments, online payments for your businesses, I'm just going to let these guys introduce themselves a bit further, provide some background. So if you will, we'll start with Narda.
Oh, sure. Thanks, Sean. And thanks for having us on your show, 876 Invest, right? The Vault, you call it?
The Vault.
Cool. Yes.
Love it. Appreciate being on here. So just a little background on me, Narda Ventura, married name Ventura. Grew up here in Jamaica, born Jamaican girl. You know, went to high school here, so I'm from a country. Did what my parents told me to do. I went to school and I got 2 degrees and I ended up in the financial sector. And I spent about 17 years there doing product development, so market research, client insight. And then something hit me on my head one day and said, you need to come out, right? And start your own business and pursue your own passion. And for the next 6 years, I did what I thought was my ultimate passion, which was the creation of my first business, Aquaworks. And, you know, while at Aquaworks, you know, I took on more motherly duties, I should say, you know, started my family, have 2 kids. And one day, I guess I'm going into the story of how EzeePayments came about now, but one day, my husband asked me to give him the receipts for the school fees that I should have paid about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, well, you know, they haven't been paid yet because I can't stand up in the line. I don't like this line thing. You know, every day I go, there's a line. Go back the next day, there's a line. The administrative office is so small. It's a prep school. You know, you have well over 200 parents coming in a small space at a time trying to do the same thing that I need to do. And there's always a line. So being the person that I am, you know, I don't like taking fault for anything. I say, you know, this makes no sense. You know, why they need to have like an easier way for me to pay the school fees. It's not my fault why the school fees aren't paid. The school needs to give me more options. And
Fair.
it was like, you know, I was like, yeah, why can't I pay it online? I can pay all my bills online. So why the hell can't I pay it online?
Facts.
And he was like, yeah, so why don't fix it? So I was like, okay. So I called Kyle, my brethren from a long time. We worked at NCB together, worked on a number of projects there together, have a fantastic friendship. And I said, Kyle, can this work? And we started to bounce the idea back and forth. And we said, all right, let's validate it. Let's talk to the people who matter, right? So we spoke to parents and we spoke to the schools. And we realized that the problem was much bigger than I thought it was. Heavily manual. And most people, like me, stood up in the lines to pay in the office because school fees are not cheap, right? They're a big ticket purchase. I have 2 kids. So you want the point.
Yeah.
Because points equal travel benefits, right? So you're maximizing and you're trying to work the system. And a lot of parents were thinking the same way. And they're like, yeah, man, we would definitely love to be able to pay this online. So anyway, long story short, 3 years into development, bootstrap, Kyle and myself, you know, we created EzeePayments.com. And we came to market with that product in February of 2020, Kyle. Yeah, man, very proud. We were so proud.
What a time.
Yeah.
You know, funny thing, Sean, is that we thought that it was a good time because we're like, oh shit, COVID is here. And, you know, everything is on the lockdown. This is new. Nobody's touching. Nobody's going anywhere. All offices are closed. And we're like, this is perfect. The school fees have to be paid. You know, they have to be paid. No, it's the perfect time for us to get into the market, launch this product. Well, can I tell you, not so at all. We spent about 6 months beating our head against the wall, meeting with schools. Schools thought it was a fantastic idea. They're like, I love this. Talk to me later about it, because they were in the process of trying to figure out how we're going to transition from face-to-face teaching to online teaching. So when I tell you they had their hands full and they couldn't hear the conversation about online payments and this Schaunn-Anthony.com and whatnot, they weren't hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 months in, Kyle and I were like, okay, well, what do we do? You know? And we figure there must be other people out there that have the same payment need, the same pain point, needing to purchase something, whether it's a product or a service, but do so remotely through e-commerce, right? So we pivoted and we created EzeePayments.com. And let me tell you, it has been, that was, I would say we conceptualized around October of 2022. We had to do some 2020. Yeah, you see where I gone? October of 2020.
Future.
I tell you, we had to do some development work, and we have a fantastic development team that Kyle leads. And we got the work done, and we spun this product our own, and we created EzeePayments.com. And by February of 2021, we're in the markets. And here we are today. Yeah.
That's great. I don't want you run on too far with the story yet, because I still want to get over to Kyle. So based on what Narda was saying there, Kyle, it sounds like you deal with more of the technical side of the things if you're leading the development team and those kind of things.
Yeah, man, correct. Yeah, technical development, a lot of product development as well. As Narda said, both of us were at NCB. I have a strong IT background. And I've also been an entrepreneur for a number of years. And, you know, again, building technology products. So, yeah, essentially, you know, I lead the technology part of the operation.
He's the lead, guys. He's underplaying it. Kyle has Property Ads JA. He has Auto Ads JA. All of those sites that you use right now to look for your real estate and for your cars. That's the man behind it all there, right?
You can't hear me modest.
I can.
Hold on. Are we being serious right now?
Very serious.
Man. But if I can
tell people what are the things that you have done, man.
No, I can give you one more little plug. A lot of people don't know, but I also do JSCinvestor.com.
Big.
Mine's blown. I don't know if you want to stop the tape now.
Oh, that's actually very crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. Look at that.
Yeah, so as I said, you know, strong technical background. But you know, Narda will tell you that I'm a pretty much an all-rounder, because you have to extend your reach beyond just the technology. You know, take the blinkers off and look at the world around you to understand what's really going on. And you know, technology is only there to solve business problems, not just to be technology for the sake of technology itself.
Yeah, that's
definitely true. Because when you think about it, even overseas, it's not just technology. What you see happening is bringing it back to investing. Companies that you see people are putting a lot of money towards and that are performing really well is technology that does these kind of disruptive things that you guys are trying to do. Breaking barriers, revolutionizing systems that have been there for how long. Those are the kind of things that you see happening. So, I mean, I love how you're thinking about it in terms of you definitely have to bring the technology into solving the business problems. So, Narda, you kind of run away and told us a bit about how you came up with the idea. I'd like Kyle to tell us a bit more about his part in the setup. Once you tapped him and said, we need to build this thing. What happened for you, Kyle, when you're like, all right, why you chose to go with Narda and Sarah, I'll help her build this thing. She said you guys are friends, but what really spawned that kind of decision? And then what did you have to do to build it?
Well, as she said, you know, the whole thing really started with building out the EzeePayments.com product. And, you know, what NCB authorized us to do is to be able to collect payments on behalf of, you know, businesses, other entities. And so when we weren't getting the traction that we had hoped to get with EzeePayments.com, and we said, boy, how else can we use, you know, this ability that we have? You know, it was really a matter now of saying, you know, let's look and see what the business need is, how do people want to be able to use the technology. And that's where we looked to see, there are a lot of small entrepreneurs out there. Some people have no website, and so they would need a way to collect payments without having a website. The persons who have a website, most sites are going to be built on WooCommerce, WordPress, which is, the most popular, let's say, website platform. You guys use it for your site as well. And so WooCommerce, you definitely need a plugin for WooCommerce to be able to facilitate the kind of shopping cart type of checkout. And then we also know that people would want to integrate, via custom apps. And so we also need to create an API to allow people to be able to connect to our checkout service. And so basically what we did is kind of just simplify and allow everything to basically get to our, what we call our it's basically a hosted payment page, a checkout page that's customizable for the person using it. But regardless of what method the customer needs to use, they could use all three methods if they choose. But regardless of what method the customer needs to use, everybody lands on a branded payment page, which looks very professional, and accept the card information, passes it securely to First Atlantic, who are our processors, and comes back with a success or failure, and can bounce you back to your site if you have one, to basically create a professional and fairly seamless payment/checkout experience for the customers of the business that want to use our service.
So you did the actual production of the website itself, or you just oversight?
No, man, I don't do much coding myself these days, but certainly because I know the ins and outs of coding, so I'm able to tell the developers exactly what needs to be done, how to do it, and ensure that we can get something out there that's quick, efficient, secure, and user friendly most of all.
Yeah,
definitely important.
Yeah.
So just to get it clear, all of this was existing infrastructure that was set up with school fee payments that was pretty much just migrated over to EzeePayments.
Not all of it, just the payment, the payment processing part, which was a very difficult part of the whole process, because the process to get to do the development, to integrate with First Atlantic is pretty strenuous and not straightforward at all. And so that's really the kind of work that you want to save somebody from having to do. And that's basically the difficulty, I would say, the most difficult part of the process. When you hear the banks talk about integration, the banks may offer plugins, but not everybody is going to need a plugin or use a plugin. Some people want just to be able to use a payment link or button. Some people want to be able to do a custom integration. For the folks who want to do a custom integration, why spend 6 months in development when we can get you up and running in 48 hours? For the persons who want to use the payment buttons that some of the banks might offer, again, there's a process. You need to create a merchant account with the bank in order to be able to use the payment button solution that they offer. Again, a long process. We can do, again, 24 to 48 hours. So it's really about trying to the two things, I guess, essentially, get people up and running quickly, and also provide a suite of solutions that can fit, most people's needs very easily without too much headache, essentially.
So it sounded like a fairly, like it was a smooth process to get to where you guys
that's very fair, because even some of the
Yeah, just a smooth process to get to where you guys are. You had mentioned how difficult it was for the schools to to listen at the start, when you wanted to do the payment processing. But what other things happened that, might have made it take a little longer than you wanted for it to take, or what held up the process, or is still holding up your transition or your growth? Like, what kind of challenges have been at the forefront of this development for you guys?
Well, I think for growth. So it's funny. Narda would have said that we took 3 years in development for the school fee payment product, and that's because it's a bit more complex. But we were able to take,
and it was bootstrapped.
Right. But we were able to take the core payment part of it and then just add on the rest of it. To get us to an MVP in 3 months, compared to the 3 years to that 3 months for us to bring the other product online. And then, of course, we have improved the product, steadily since putting the MVP out to market. I wouldn't say what's hampering growth. We need to do a bit more marketing, and I think if there's more brand recognition in the market, I think we'll probably get more customers coming to us as opposed to us having to go to them.
Right.
But we're getting there. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we've made steady progress over this entire year. Narda can tell you what somebody who compared us to the competition said. So over to you, Narda, on that. Or to one of our competitors.
Well, I just, before I even jump into that, Kyle, just to say that, like most startups, we started up extremely lean. As a matter of fact, we are now just starting to grow. So for all this time, Kyle and I we've manned it. We've done it all. Because as you can imagine, as a startup, you don't have a lot of capital being injected in. So you're not like having a whole floor of people who are working for you. And that in itself has hampered some growth because there's so much that 2 people can do and no more. But now we're in a position where we can expand the team and get support where we need it most. So we do expect to see an uptick in our growth shortly as a result of that. Where our competition is concerned, boy, I've heard so many stories. I'm very happy to hear the stories, because it really validates us in the market. We love that the competition is there as well. They have a 3-year head start on us, which is great because they validate an easy payment. We don't have to be digging a hole and telling people, you can do this outside of having a direct relationship with your commercial bank. So having a competitor in the market is fantastic, and they have a beautiful marketing budget, so they're doing a lot of talking. So that's fantastic. But while they're out there and they have a head start, they certainly we can certainly hold our own in terms of product comparison. As a matter of fact, right now, I think we have a very, very strong product. And what we offer as a value proposition, a differentiator for the merchants, they're the ones who matter at the end of the day, is that they can get their money. They get their money automatically, their settlements, being able to get their funds on time as promised without asking for it, without paying for it, is a big differentiator in the market. And we've had a number of persons switch simply because of that. And we do plan to ride on that differentiator and even strengthen it, because it is a big deal. For a small business, cash is king in more ways than one. So they want to have access to their money. And they don't need somebody to be holding on to it and say, just let me know when you need it, So big.
Reminds us of PayPal horror stories.
Yeah, so all the problems that we're trying to fix. So we look in the market and saying what's out there, what are the pain points that people have, and how can we address that? As Narda said, we do our automatic settlements. That's one pain point that people would have had, both with PayPal and other processors. And again, just trying to offer quick solutions. People were saying how they couldn't get payments set up for their website without a whole heap of rigmarole. So let's just offer a quick fix for that as well.
Turnkey solution.
Right, and so we're
after for a second is how fast are you guys growing, both in terms of client take-up, as well as are you guys expanding your team?
Yes, fantastic question. I won't give you percentages in terms of client take-up, but what I can tell you is that they're keeping us busy every day. On our Google, as Kyle has, that we're open 24 hours a day. So we have emails coming in, requests coming in all the time. Kyle's phone is ringing all the time. People are calling us all the time. So the increase is happening. The people are coming to us. Merchants are coming to us. Businesses, right? As a result, we do have to expand our team. We for us, our service standards are super important to us. When we say that we can get you up in 24 to 48 hours, that's a promise that we intend on keeping. When we say that we're going to settle to you twice weekly automatically without you asking, you can bank on the fact that your money will be there. That's another promise we intend on keeping. So in order for us to keep those promises with the increased uptake, we have to grow our team. So we do have an additional person on our team now, Rose, customer support. She's doing a fantastic job. And we have, doing fantastic, jumped on like a gem. And for quarter one, we do have identified hires. So as a matter of fact, that was our discussion today because we now need the support. So team growing, business growing, loving the support from our Jamaican people. Everything's good.
Love that. All right, so if you just want to talk to me about this NCB partnership, I know you guys both said you were working there a bit, but how exactly did this partnership materialize?
Yeah, so we can't call it a partnership officially.
No.
NCB, right. So NCB are our processors, and we have an excellent relationship with them. They support us, day in, day out. But it was essentially, we approached other institutions, and the process to get up and running in terms of e-commerce with all the institutions is not easy, especially because the type of business that we wanted to do, which was to become a payment facilitator. Mm-hmm. So after evaluating, all the offerings, we decided to stick it out with NCB because we, basically already had a relationship being ex-staff, so to speak, although we still have to go through all the rigors of now becoming, a business, an NCB business customer, right? So that was essentially what led us there and kept us there.
Yeah, I mean, I just going to jump in to help out Kyle right there. I mean, when I tell you, at the time, the other commercial banks really just, we went from one end of the spectrum to the other. We either got a list of requirements that was so thick, or they were just not ready for this conversation. And NCB really was the right fit. They like Kyle said, we do have our relationships, but that did not matter. As a matter of fact, I think it made the process a little harder because everybody we knew were like, we can't touch it, we can't touch this, let's stay away. We don't want anybody to say favoritism or anything like that, which we respected because guess what happened? We really crossed every I, crossed every T, dotted every I, and came out solid. When I tell you solid, so everything that you would expect, everything that the bank offers you in terms of security and safety, all of those things, we had to be on par because we are a merchant. We are technically a merchant of them. So as Kyle said, our relationship with them is that they are our processor. They are our real bank. So this is, when I tell you, it was no easy feat, but we love that we had to go through what we did because now we're smiling on the back. We have everything set, legit.
Mm-hmm. All right, so on that point,
I speak a lot more candid than Kyle does, guys. I'm sure you recognize. He puts
yeah.
I mean, that's fine. Don't worry, Kyle. I'm usually a reserved guy myself.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just that we have to be careful with some of the things that we say because we can't say partnership. That's one of the things. But
that's perfectly fine. So guys,
Narda would have when we actually started the process, there were a lot less or fewer banks who actually offered e-commerce processing. Mm-hmm. So, that was another factor that came into play. And, I understand that the process is not much better nowadays anyway. But the point being is that because the process with any other banks is still, jumping through a lot of hoops, coming to us is still, for the most part, a better option for an entrepreneur who wants to start taking payments than going directly to a bank.
Yeah.
Very fair. So even that, what made you guys persist? I mean, it's always been so challenging for businesses in Jamaica to accept payments online, whether you have to go through PayPal or Stripe or some rigmarole, or you have to figure out some roundabout ways, like, no, just send it to my bank account and I'll do a receipt. There's always some kind of challenges. So what made you guys persist? Because as you say, it's very, very difficult with relationships with the banks at the time. What made you guys decide that, no, man, this has to get done
this way?
Yeah. So
that way.
Yeah, this way. So anybody who know me and anybody who know Kyle, they know that we're extremely high achievers, right? I particularly don't like taking no for an answer. And if I believe that, we had this discussion today, there's so much information or so much direction that you can get from figures. When you do your validations and you do your feasibility, the information is there. You have the guidance whether to go forward with this product or not, right? And that process holds a lot of value. But you see, gut feeling is superior. I mean, I shouldn't say superior. For me, though, gut feeling carry a whole heap of weight, a whole lot of weight, right? And we were experiencing it. So remember, we were experiencing it. So I'm a business owner outside of EzeePayments. I have Aquaworks, and COVID just leaked, and my parents don't want to come to me anymore. And we had to pivot that business and start sending our instructors out. How am I going to get paid? We started doing bank-to-bank transfer. And let me tell you something. Anybody that is processing bank-to-bank transfers, the headache that they have to deal with at the end of the month to reconcile will give you gray hair. It is ridiculous, right? Because something as simple as putting money coming from X for X child is just not done, right? Mm-hmm. So imagine somebody that's in retail who is pushing all sorts of items, and they say a $20,000 deposited to their account, and it's a cash deposit, and there's no name, there's no reference number to an item, there's nothing, and you're like, where did this money come from? Is it even mine? Am I supposed to deliver this product? And the back and forth happening as a result of a bank transfer, which was fantastic 10 years ago, but today it seems so efficient and such a hassle, right? Still has a place, but it is not, can't compare to e-commerce today. So sitting in the situation ourselves and saying, hey, look, Kyle, help me know. We need to get this done so I can charge my parents, know who I'm charging, know what they're paying for, set up my own store, completely flip that business. So we lived it, we lived it, and outside of sounding selfish, like I need to have this for myself, it really was, if this can work for me and I consider that business micro and I had that need, then there must be enough of us out there that have the same need. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From my side, I don't know if technology guys like challenges usually. The ones who enjoy the work anyway. And so, that's enough of a motivator to want to be able to create a solution. Can this work? Hell yeah, it can work. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, figure out if we figure out the technical part, we can figure out the economics of it afterwards.
Yeah.
Fair. The economics does have to make sense, though.
It does, absolutely.
It has to make sense.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So, all right, no.
Spoken about the competitors having a large marketing budget, and you know what's coming now. So tell us how you feel about that big bank launching a new product.
All right. Well, I mean, we expect competition from any and every angle. Everything that comes to the market, we ourselves have to take a look at it, do our own analysis and see how it is that we should respond. If we do respond, for the time being, our analysis of the product, indicates that, there's a lot of interest in the market. It's not quite an apples to apples competitor at this point, but It is something that we need to keep an eye on. And so, we'll do that just like we do with every other product. And, as I said, in 2022, we're going to see a lot of new stuff coming out from us. And maybe we'll have, competing or better products to offer the market.
Maybe.
Interesting.
I see.
Very interesting. Sounds like a follow-up will be necessary.
Absolutely. Calendar it.
Will do.
Less.
No.
And we don't make promises that we can't keep either.
Serious.
Love that. But all right, no. So
but like I said, we love when they lead the way, We love when they lead the way. Because remember, with every offering, there's a target segment, right? So even though there's an offering now, they're going to appeal to a particular target segment. When that is done, sometimes there's a gap left in the market, right? Those people who people just keep forgetting, the underbanked, whatnot, right? Yeah, man. So there's always space for more. So we love the innovation, the fact that the market is moving in this direction. The more of it is happening, they're doing a lot of heavy lifting for us, and for others. They can convert, they can convert purchasing behavior. Those things support what we are doing. So again, fantastic.
Yeah, and I just want to follow up that point as well, guys. To where we sit, what we do observe is that there are competitors who are also copying things that we do, because we also innovate. So, let's drop that point, just quietly.
That's a bomb, though. Yeah. I feel like you have more to say about that bomb.
Yeah, we say less. We say less for right now, but suffice it to say.
You got the talk. We got the talk.
This is gonna be you're gonna get a part 2 pretty soon.
Definitely. All right. So for myself now, I like to follow up on all these little developments that are happening about the place, and this is a major development for me, but I don't really see a lot of people talking about it. The central bank digital currency. Are there any plans to facilitate that on EzeePayments? Because I think that's a major thing that's going to become extremely important.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
If properly accepted.
Right, absolutely. I mean, the moment that it was announced by Bank of Jamaica, I said to Narda that this is going to be a game changer for e-commerce in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. So, as soon as the only hurdle, let's say, is that for the time being, you need to partner with a financial institution in order to get into the BOJ sandbox to be able to start to work on, solutions that can capitalize on CBDC. But it is our intention to be right there, because as I said, we do believe that it will be a game changer for e-commerce.
I agree, and I love that initiative. To create the central bank digital currency, CBDC. I love it. I think that it's going to be major to reach out to those same people, unbanked and underbanked, and people who do not have the means to facilitate digital payments, the bag juice seller and those kind of people.
Right.
If they have the right level of technology and you're able to hold that, then amazing. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, man.
But that CBDC thing kind of opens a door for the broader conversation around digital currency. So are there any plans for further adaptation of cryptocurrency? Because we know we see the direction where the world is going in with Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever other cryptocurrencies are there. So are there any plans to facilitate those things on your platforms?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Again, Narda and I were talking about this, just today, and how it is that we'll get it done. I'm not going to promise you that we'll be doing crypto in 2022, but we'll definitely be looking at bringing it in 2022. We'll be looking hard at bringing it in 2022.
It's very, very. That's massive again. Bear bombs over there trying to drop silently, dropping them casually.
Well, let's put it this way, guys. Crypto will, as far as e-commerce in Jamaica, we're just getting to the point now where cards are getting into the hands of more people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, crypto is not going to be mainstream in 2022 locally.
No.
Nowhere near.
Agree.
Right. But it's definitely going to come. CBDC will probably become more mainstream
Here first.
before crypto does locally. That's just my feeling on the matter.
Yeah,
so for entities that have limited resources, everything has to be evaluated. With using some kind of prioritization matrix, and you have to focus on the stuff that bubbles up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say it's going to come, but may not be 2022, you understand that there's other stuff that more than likely has to come before it.
Yeah, man, I perfectly understood this. The Dundas is just a big crypto guy. Huge crypto guy.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Yeah.
Big believer in the movement.
I really am a believer. Yeah.
So is that, I'm not trying to interview the interviewer, but is that from a perspective of speculation, from an investment perspective, or?
No, not necessarily. It's just that I can see the utility. Go away. I can see the utility. I can see how it can be helpful to society. And I expect that it would be something that's going to be, that should be implemented quickly. And I think the persons who move first in these kind of things will see some very serious benefit. So, I think it's good to consider at least. I agree that we are just getting to the point where cards are in more people's hands. So for it to be mainstream, I agree, especially in Jamaica, next year, highly, highly unlikely. But at the same time, the first mover thing is you can't ignore it,
So, there are a few drawbacks for particular use cases where people need to move crypto back to fiat currency, especially when those cryptocurrencies have a very volatile fluctuations in valuation and exchange rate. And so, I can make a transaction this minute and expect to get $10, and then by the time I move it out of my crypto wallet back to my fiat wallet, it values $9 or $8, or what I mean. So
I get you.
So
I don't want to get too far away from
all right.
the business. I want to talk about this. I just don't want to change this to a crypto conversation. But a quick question. So yes, the valuation changes pretty quickly in comparison to fiat currency, particularly. But wouldn't that be more of the concern of the user, not the host? The change in the value, because if I know that it's volatile, I want to use it. I know it can change quickly, Yeah,
but I'm saying for the merchant who is receiving the currency and needing to to convert it back to fiat.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of business use.
Oh, based on the time, okay.
Right.
Based on the timing, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: I'm not against crypto. Dundas just loves it way more than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So just so you've hinted at a few things that you guys have come in. anything major that's gone down in the year that we may not have seen or heard about properly because of, as you guys say, you're not the best at marketing. But you guys are telling me that there's great take up on those kind of things. Any major deals or clients or anything you can tell us?
I mean, we very quickly, we started off processing JMD only. Again, that was just the MVP. But on realizing that there was, a lot of demand for USD currency processing, we were fairly quick to implement that as well. And right after we implemented that, we started doing payment processing for one of the larger COVID PCR testing companies that does testing for tourists, for incoming tourists. So we're doing a lot of US dollar processing and have been, fairly quietly doing a lot of US dollar processing for the COVID testing. And,
beneficial, sounds rich.
I mean, it's processing. But, those guys have been so happy with the service that we have offered that they're actually expanding because it's basically a testing scheduling service that they offer. In other words, people will book a test in advance and pay for it in advance, and then be able to take the test when they get to their location. And they've been expanding their service to other territories outside of Jamaica, and they have chosen to keep us on as a processor for the testing that they're going to be doing, test scheduling that they're going to be doing in those territories.
Nice. So y'all will be international soon.
Yeah, man. Already are actually. They're already doing it. They're already rolling it out.
Nice.
That's regional, or there's also US Canada?
Yeah, regional. So they've started rolling it out regionally.
Okay.
I see Narda had a big smile on her face, like I tried to add something.
No, we're not going to bust anything else. That's
you should give this exclusive.
Give us an exclusive.
All right, I'll give you one small one. We have been doing processing for the Jamaica Bar Association for all their events and courses and compliance. Major. So if we're good enough for the governance body for the lawyers in Jamaica, then
big up the Jamaica Bar Association for giving you guys the chance and for facilitating online payments.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yep.
Jovan of Media Jamaica is their developer, so we've been working closely with them. Media Jamaica.
Big up, definitely. That's major. We love that. All right, so just tell us, wrapping up just about now, tell us where you guys plan to go next year.
Sorry, Narda.
Narda got more stuff?
No, I thought Narda wanted to drop the small pink.
Don't worry, Narda, we can cut around it. Think about it, man.
Yeah, man, you can take your time and think about it.
All right, so I don't know why I should not say it, but we also signed an agreement to support a product from one of our leading quasi-financial services companies locally. They've put out some stuff earlier in the year, but they haven't fully launched a product yet, so maybe that's why she's not saying it. So that you can look out for that in early 2020.
Okay.
I guess we'll know it when we see it, or we can have a follow-up when we see it.
Yeah, man. You'll know it when you see it.
Love that.
But that Schaunn, that kind of gives you the idea of just a last point to
trajectory.
Give an idea of the width and breadth of merchants that we serve. We have merchants who they're hairdressers. Not that hairdressers make a little bit of money because they're pushing through some money, right? We have sandal makers, we have our artists, we have jewelry makers, we have big associations that have hundreds of members. We have medical facilities. We are in partnership with quasi-financial institutions. So that is to show you, even though, and it, so I have to jump back because it's not about just having a turnkey solution. It really is a lot about having an affordable solution as well. And the mistake that a lot of our competitors would make is they believe that affordability is not an issue, but e-commerce really should be something that is the norm. It should be something that everybody should have as a part of their business model today. And that can only happen, truth be told, because otherwise you are limiting your sales. You can't go outside of your border. You can't come outside of your physical establishment. Point of sales are fantastic, but you have QR codes now that you can scan if you need to do a face-to-face transaction. But you have to, if you can't offer public businesses, whether they're professionals or they're institutions and associations, if you can't offer them a solution where they can turn a key literally and offer their products and services to the world at an affordable rate, then what value are you adding? And we really need to add value. When we have our follow-up conversation and we have a more in-depth conversation about the pricing, you will be like, Narda and Kyle, are you guys crazy? But again, we know that you can't turn a millionaire in a year, Certainly intend on becoming millionaires, I can tell you that. Not talking local currency either. But it doesn't have to be at the cost. We have to break somebody back in order to reach there. So we want to give value, real value.
Agreed. That's funny that you actually talk about the pricing, because that's what I was trying to wrap up on. I was touching us on the fee structure and pricing. Yeah. So right now, truth be told, and frankly speaking, it's more affordable to come to us as a facilitator than it is to go directly to your commercial bank. We're not talking about time for setup now. If we look at the dollar to dollar that you're spending, there's a setup fee that you have to pay to the commercial banks. And that's usually quoted in US dollars, right? And then you have a monthly subscription after that. And then there's the MDR rate, that is your transaction commission that you're going to pay to the bank on every transaction. And there is a flat fee, which is in US dollars as well on that transaction. And then, of course, there's GCT added to that. So the structure is very loaded, right? With us as a facilitator, and it wasn't easy. I'm not going to tell you that it was easy for us to come up with this, right? It really is a Chinaman model, right? We don't have a setup fee. We don't. I know, no offense, right? But we don't have a setup fee. That is actually insane that you don't have a setup fee. That's why my face is like that is not about it.
Right? Our subscription right now, mind you, in 2022, we're going to roll out a few more models. Right now, we kind of cater to one target segment where our subscription is 1,500 Jamaican dollars monthly. But even then, we do have merchants who don't want to pay a monthly rate. They want to pop in and pop out. So we're going to offer something for them. We want people who want to stay more than monthly, and they want to establish or they want to acknowledge or receive benefits for staying on longer. So we're going to have a quarterly option for them. So we're going to change up how we're offering the subscriptions to those people later on in the month. And then, of course, we have our affiliate programs who, people like you guys could be affiliates for us where you resell on our behalf. So you have an opportunity to make some income when you push EzeePayments as well, right? So and there are different models that we're putting out there. And at the end of the day, it is affordable. It is affordable. When somebody decides that they're going to purchase EzeePayment and use this service, they really shouldn't be thinking, oh my God, this is going to hurt me. They are probably going to think, okay, this is lunch, me and my friend today, right? Because curry goat now costs $900. So, no.
That's what I was actually just going to say is that
curry goat costs $1,500, right?
Hotel.
Is that $1,500 per month is insane, because like I was just going to say, like, I guarantee spend that on food per week. It's booked. Like I don't have to ask. If I cook for the week, I'm still spending $1,500.
Yeah, more like per day for real.
That's what I'm saying. If I cook, I'm still spending $1,500 in a week.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, it's
crazy.
Easily. So yeah. So again, turnkey solution, you're up and running 24 to 48 hours, affordable. Yeah, man.
All right, guys, we're gonna check out. Just tell the people where they can sign up. And you touched on the fees a while. So just tell them where they can sign up, where they can follow you guys on the social media for updates. Just let them know.
All right. So website is EzeePayments.com. EzeePayments with an S.com. EzeePayments.com. Or Twitter handle is EzeePayments.com. Same thing on IG, same thing on Facebook. We're there. Join the conversation. Ask us whatever questions you want. If you want us to some of our customers, we're establishing our easy community where you can knock ideas on how to use us off other people, and you can get their feedback and reviews on how they have used us. So EzeePayments.com, making payments easy.
All right.